is well with everyone. Hi, welcome in, welcome in. We're gonna get started. Let me send out my shares really quickly. And honestly and truly, I think I'm just gonna make sure all my windows are rolled up. Hold on, because I'm out and about today, so I'm gonna try to make this not quick, but I'm gonna try to make this prompt, because I definitely it's not gonna be quick. I don't feel like it's gonna be a short discussion at all, but I don't want to have to turn my car on and off since it's cold outside, and I don't want to have to deal with all of that mess. So I'm trying to keep the warmth inside, which it should while the doors are closed. But I hope all is well today. We're going to be talking about breaking free from insulin resistance and inflammation, because we've been talking about diabetes, and inflammation and insulin resistance go hand in hand. And inflammation overall is a really, really hard topic to really hone in on one issue when it comes to diseases and illnesses, or just one disease specifically rather, because it really does affect and cause all illnesses and disease. So you can't just necessarily talk about diabetes when we talk about inflammation, but we're going to stay on the topic of insulin resistance. But we're breaking free from insulin resistance and inflammation in 2025. So we're giving you the rundown of taking control and understanding what truly matters, and understanding how if you are ready to reclaim your energy and reclaim your vitality and your quality of life, then you're going to have to tackle the two. Because if you are dealing with insulin resistance or you're dealing with diabetes, inflammation is your main cause. That is your main issue that you have to deal with. The same thing with you having high blood pressure, or you having kidney disease or liver failure, or any type of heart issues. All of that is stemming from inflammation that you have going on. And inflammation is caused by toxins. So we have to get to the root cause of the issue in order for us to heal, right? So today we're going to be diving into what is affecting millions of people out there right now globally, which is insulin resistance and inflammation, and how they are silently wreaking havoc on our body, and wreaking havoc on your body not being able to heal itself, to the point where now we develop diseases. And so when we get away from the space of not knowing how to take care of our body, not knowing how to heal our body, we realize very quickly that we have not been taught the habits that we need and that we deserve in order for us to start taking care of ourselves. And so it's time for us to not only observe the earth and what's going on, but also look at the statistics. So it isn't just about stats and numbers of looking at the world and being like, okay, there's millions of people that are dealing with diabetes and insulin resistance and all these different diseases, but rather understanding that your future kids, your kids' future, all of that, and then their kids, and so on, are being affected because your future has been affected. Because look at how we are as a society, with our parents, our grandparents, and all the past generations of how they view the world, what they think is healthy, and what they were doing throughout the decades, and now what we're seeing. You see the fact that here in 2025, the way that we are an advanced society and how society is, we should be healthier. We should look better. We should feel better. We should have a society that is not sitting here depending on pills, not depending on surgeries, not depending on all of these momentary band-aids to make it through the day, right? Because people are depending on coffee. They're depending on supplements to get what they need. They're depending on doctor's visits, medications, prescriptions. There is no reason for us to have to depend on all of these different things to supplement in every single day for us to make it by, and us to be able to live in general. Because a lot of people, if they didn't have their medication, they wouldn't know how to function. And that's a problem. Because if you were sitting there saying, okay, I have to have my high blood pressure medicine, because if not, my blood pressure will go too high, I would have a stroke, then I would unalive. You're not realizing the fact that medication is not helping you. It's a band-aid. Because in reality, if you have high blood pressure and you needed to help yourself get rid of that, you would deal with the inflammation first, right? You would figure out what is causing the inflammation, which is causing you to have high blood pressure. Oh, okay. So a number of different things outside of just salt, because people love to say salt is causing my high blood pressure, but you're not realizing that it's more than just salt. The toxins that you eat with the snacks that you eat, the toxins that you put on your body with your body wash are inflammatory. You sitting here every single day eating a mixture of unhealthy fats, a whole bunch of sodium, and inflammatory sugar is going to cause you to have toxins inside of your body, aka cause inflammation. So this is just deeper than just like, okay, it's a statistic, we're looking at a number and we're seeing that millions of people are suffering from this, but rather understanding the fact that you're not feeling light, you're not feeling energetic, you're not feeling free, all because you keep doing the same process that everybody else has done in the past. So when are we going to stop doing what they've been doing and realize that this whole concept of what we're following with these food pyramids, these my plates, these things that we have been governed to be taught to, programmed into, are not supporting us in healing, but rather keeping us in the same space and not taking care of our body? There is plenty of access to the information, because the same information that I'm feeding to you and I give to you right now, how I started learning about the information, is the internet. Like, we have all, that's why I said we're such an advanced society. We have endless amount of information in our hand, in our pockets, on our feet, our phone, our TV, and yet we choose to consume a bunch of crap every single day with the food, with our media, with our products. So it's like, at the end of the day, it's not the fact that you don't have access to it. It's the matter of what do you prioritize. Because a lot of people prioritize learning about celebrity gossip. They prioritize eating a bunch of crap in order for them to cope with their day. Them prioritizing what kind of coffee that they want every single day, and they wake up early to go get this coffee. You prioritize your money so that you can buy the clothes that you want. You prioritize all these different things. But you know what you put on the back burner? Your health. Majority of society puts their back burner on the health. Oh, I have to go to work tomorrow. I don't feel good, but I have to go to work, so I'm going to go on ahead and take all of these different prescriptions so that I can wake up tomorrow to go to work. Knowing that, first of all, you don't need to be taking all these prescriptions together, let alone taking them at all. Not realizing the fact that, okay, if you're not feeling good, then you need to look at, first of all, what you've been eating, and then you also need to change what you've been eating. And then on top of that, instead of you taking a bunch of prescriptions, why is your first thought not to start fasting? Like, we really sit here and think, and the same thing with kids as well, because we think, okay, you have to go to school tomorrow, so let me dose you up with a whole bunch of prescriptions to allow you to go to school tomorrow. Not knowing what's in those prescriptions, not knowing what's in that cough syrup, not knowing what's in all this crap that you give them that you got from the doctor because you took them to the doctor, not realizing the fact that them having a fever is not an issue until it gets to a certain point. You think as soon as they get a fever, they have to go to the doctor. Fever is your body's way of protecting itself and fighting off the toxins and getting rid of them. When you suppress fevers with suppressants, like you do when you give them all of these dosages, that harms them in a way that they cannot fight the cold or illness as fast as they would if you let the fever do what it does to the illness. And that's what people are getting away from. Y'all get so far away from what we've been taught with our ancestors, now to the point where you focus on getting them to school so you can get to work, or getting them to school so that they don't get in trouble for as tardiness. And you don't even realize that you put everybody's health on the back burner. Yours, your child, your family members. It's not your job to take care of everybody's health, but when you have put a child in this world and you don't even know how to take care of yourself, that should be a clue in to you that we are misconstrued when it comes to taking care of our own bodies, and we're raising the next generation to not know how to take care of themselves as well. And when you realize this is causing us to not have any energy. It's causing us to have mental fatigue. It's causing the next generation and the generation currently right now that is literally not thriving to have all of these mental illnesses, to have all of these issues with anxiety, depression, panic attacks, having all of these different issues of now they're labeling themselves with all these different labels that people love to put ourselves in these boxes. Not realizing that you don't have to label yourself with, okay, I have PCOS, I have fibroids, I have IBS, and you're labeling yourself with all of these illnesses and diseases and making that your life. When in reality, when you start to use food as your medicine, you won't have to sit here and worry about that, because you know why? You're dealing and tackling with the inflammation. Because at the end of the day, all of this is being caused by inflammation. So let's get into the topic of insulin resistance. Let's really dive in and hone in on this, because the truth is, what is going on inside of your body is not a separate issue from what's going on inside of your brain, what's going on externally. And so when you stop viewing as, oh, okay, you're going through hormonal issues, you just have hormonal acne. No, you don't have hormonal acne. The reality is the fact that your hormones are so thrown off that now your body is trying to show you in signs of the way, which is your skin, that, hey, internally you're having issues with your liver, you're having issues with your kidney. So now I'm starting to bring acne on your face. I'm leaving scars, I'm leaving craters. Oh, you have a dark neck. That's a sign to tell you you're inflamed, and on top of that, your blood sugar is too high. And so now your insulin is spiked. Your insulin spike is not giving you that balance of, okay, converting energy from your sugar. So now it's sitting here cycling through your body trying to flush. This is going to cause you to have hormonal imbalances, which AKA leads to insulin resistance. Insulin resistance leads you to having diabetes. Do you see the full circle? So what is insulin resistance? If you don't know what insulin resistance is, because a lot of people don't know the signs and the symptoms, but let's talk about first, what is it? Insulin resistance is when your cells stop responding to insulin, right? So this is a hormonal imbalance. So your hormones usually respond to sugar as, okay, this is your blood sugar level being spiked a little bit. Okay, I understand you have blood sugar levels that are there for you to be able to convert this glucose into energy. Your pancreas works, and it should be working normally, but it's not. So now let's say, from the other hand, what society is dealing with, you're not taking responsibility over your blood sugar. So now it's throwing off your hormones. You're no longer converting your glucose into energy because it has no glucose in that inflammatory sugar. So now your pancreas is working overtime to produce more insulin so that it can balance itself. So then you can flush out the bad sugars and get the healthy sugars that convert into energy, right? So then it's trying to keep your blood sugar levels stabilized, but it's not going to be able to do that. So over time, this is going to lead you having pre-diabetic symptoms. So you're going to have a dark neck. You're going to have dark inner thighs. You're going to start getting skin tags, because a lot of people love to say, well, skin tags are hereditary, but you're not realizing that skin tags are a sign of insulin resistance. You don't inherit these different illnesses and diseases. What you inherit are the terrible habits that your parents had either while they were conceiving you, or that they have taught you throughout your life, so you continuously do them and you develop a disease. Because these babies being born with these illnesses and diseases isn't because it runs in your family. It's because it was already in the father and the mother, and it became a prominent thing inside of you. It's no longer dormant. It's alive. It's active. When the Most High put you in this earth here, and it was manifested before you were actually a fetus, but you were here as a thought, as a grain of sand, as a manifested energy, you were perfect. The only time that imperfection touched you was when you were conceived and you were starting to form inside your mother's womb. This is when you start to have developmental issues. This is when babies start losing limbs, or they have an extra limb. This is when they start to develop all these issues. And I'm not blaming it on the mother, because they're finding out more research, because we love to blame the mom for everything. But now they're finding more research in the fact that when mothers have preeclampsia and all these other issues, that is tied directly to the father. And there's a lot of other issues that are directly tied to the father. But we don't do that research, because if it's infertility issues or any fertility issues in general, they always go to blaming the mother and doing studies on the mother. But now they're starting to do more studies on men, because we're having low sperm count and issues with men in their fertility, or their sperm count, which affects the mother's fertility. Now they're starting to see that there's more issues with men. And let me break down, for the people that don't realize this, you do realize that between this past, I want to say probably last 2 decades, the difference between fertility issues, between hormonal imbalances in men and women, is being caused by soy. Between these last 2 decades, we're seeing an impact of how much soy is really truly hitting the shelves, and how much soy we're eating every single day. And you know what has been impacted for the last 2 decades of generations? Infertility issues, fertility issues, sperm counts. Those 2 things have been impacted directly. And when you do research into soy, not looking at those 1990 studies and 90 studies, and looking into those early 2000 studies, but actually looking at the most current studies that are outside of the US, but like in the UK, in Europe, and all the different places that they actually care about their people, even in China. Because China's talking about it too, but they're not talking about the fact of hormonal imbalance, but they're talking about diabetes. But you see that soy causes estrogen dominance inside the body in men and women. And it's fake estrogen that's not our natural estrogen, which is going to cause your natural estrogen to raise to fight off the issue. This is causing hormonal imbalances. You know what hormonal imbalances impact? Your fertility, your sperm count. really put two and two together. There's an agenda against your health. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep doing the same thing? Or are you going to change the way that you do it? So over time of you sitting here with this unstable blood sugar, thank you for all the follows and the likes, guys. I really appreciate it. You doing the same thing over and over again. You're going to lead yourself to having prediabetes symptoms, like I said. It's going to lead you to having type 2 diabetes. And then type 2 diabetes, undealt with, is going to lead you to a cascade of other health problems. Like, for instance, after a certain point, you can develop type 3 diabetes. After a certain point of type 3, it hasn't been directly linked, because they said they can't directly link it, because at the end of the day, you can have Alzheimer's without you having type 3 diabetes, so they can't directly link it. But they say, and it's said in research of scientific journals, that it's more likely than not when you develop type 3, you're going to have Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is a form of dementia. Do you also know what is another type of dementia that also categorizes when you have different issues with diabetes, heart disease, kidney disease, which also all go together with you having insulin resistance? Strokes. Stroke is another form of dementia. You losing limbs is a side effect of you having diabetes. You losing your eyesight, you losing your hearing. So the scary part about this isn't just, oh, okay, well, I have a chance that I might lose some functions in my body. It's the fact that when you look outside and you count every 3 adults, so you count 1, 2, 3, out of every 3 adults, one of them is insulin resistant, and majority of people don't even realize that they're insulin resistant. That's the scary part. Because like we just talked about, insulin resistance undealt with is going to lead you to a cascade of health problems. So when you realize very quickly that we have not led ourselves to this issue overnight, like you didn't just wake up and boom, all of a sudden you have diabetes. Boom, all of a sudden you have insulin resistance. But it's been years of little itty bitty subtle signs that your body's been giving you, and you've been doing nothing about it. And so now your body's to the point where it can't fight anymore. So this is when you develop diseases. The hidden signs of insulin resistance are you having persistent fatigue. You're fatigued all the time. You wake up, you're fatigued. You wake up, you're sluggish. You feel like you cannot have any energy even after you sleep for 12 hours. You have increased sugar cravings, and you crave starchy foods and you crave sugary foods. And to the point where it's like, it's not just like, oh, okay, I crave it, I move on, I eat something. It's to the point where you sit there and you're getting angry because you don't have enough sugar. You're getting angry because you don't have starchy foods. Those are when you have problems. It's still not okay to have sugar cravings, but at the same time, it's like if you're eating sugar, you're going to crave sugar. That's just your natural balance because it gives you a dopamine response, right? Another issue with insulin resistance that people that don't realize is a hidden sign, and they go through their life not realizing, is the fact that when you have unexplained weight gain and weight loss, majority of the people experience weight gain. Even skinny people that have been skinny all their life experience a random amount of weight gain or weight fluctuation. That's a sign that you are insulin resistant. That's a sign that your body is either going into insulin resistance or is already there. Usually it's already there if you're gaining weight. And particularly in the lower abdomen area. So, another issue, like I talked about earlier, skin tags, dark patches on the skin, your neck, your underarms, your thighs, things like that, right? Difficulty focusing, brain fog, mental fog, panic attacks, depression. These are all signs that you are malnourished and you're going through it. And your body is sitting there dealing with it. For women, irregular periods, painful periods, symptoms of PCOS, which are usually painful periods, endometriosis, you having fibroid cysts. What else? I'm trying to think. What is another one? PMS. That was another one I was saying. Yeah, PMS. That's a sign of hormonal imbalances, which also is caused by sugar. You said I'm changing my diet plant-based. Well, you need to change it. Diet is not how we should focus on this, because diet culture is teaching you to do something for a moment. You need to change your lifestyle. And I'm not saying that as a way of like jumping on you, but we have to get away from that concept of thinking, okay, I'm going to do a diet, because diet is momentary. You have to completely change your lifestyle in order for you to heal and to continuously heal. Because you said your periods change overnight and you're on your journey to dissolve those fibroids, and you said, I now believe my body can heal itself. Oh, your body definitely can, and I'm glad that you were at the point of understanding that, because thinking that you're going to change from a diet is not going to work. People do paleo, they do keto, they do Weight Watchers, they do all these different things, and guess what happens? Nothing ever changes after the fact. Maybe in the moment they lose weight, they feel good for a second, but as soon as you're done doing that diet, you go back to the same habits, you feel the same way, you gain all the weight back. Like, all of the issues you had before didn't go away. And you know why? Because you had a momentary band-aid that didn't help you heal. And so a lot of people don't realize that, because they feel good in that moment, they look good in that moment, so they don't think anything of it. But then when they go back and they're sitting there like, oh, that didn't work, because once I stopped doing it, I felt so bad. And they don't realize the reason why you felt like crap was because your body was finally like, ooh, you gave me a little bit of what I needed so that I can at least make it past what we were. And like, so let's say you're on working 50% of capacity every single day. Now you can work at 60, but then you go back down to that 50, and then it knocks you down to 45. Because at 45 now, your body's like, listen, like, I barely was functioning at 50, and you had me at 60, which I was feeling good, but now I can't go back to the 50. But when you change your lifestyle and you start incorporating habits that help you be able to be healthy, then you can knock yourself all the way up to that 80, 90, 100% of working capacity, healing yourself from the inside out, and then healing yourself externally. Because over 37 million Americans have diabetes, and that should be a national health crisis, but it's not. It's a statistic that they throw in your face and everybody moves on about their day. But you don't realize 37 million people are dealing with diabetes, and over 90 something million people are dealing with insulin resistance. And majority, over half of them don't even realize they're insulin resistant. Over half. I had somebody who came to me recently that was talking about the fact that they have been skinny all their life. They've been active all their life as far as working out. And that's what everybody views as healthy, right? You do what you're supposed to do as far as working out. You do what you're supposed to do. If you're slim, you're healthy. And then she came to me and said all throughout her 20s and her 30s, she looked good. She hit 40s, and then all of a sudden she had a weight fluctuation issue. And now she realizes that she's insulin resistant, and she has a whole bunch of other issues with fibroids and different issues with fertility. You have to realize that just because you look good doesn't mean you're healthy. Just because you get in the gym does not mean you're healthy. You can look as good as you want to externally, but if you're not eating the foods that you need to be eating to support your body, you are externally inflamed, which is going to cause diseases. Just like how people talk about, oh, they ran marathons, they were so healthy, they ate this way, they did this, and then all of a sudden they just upped and passed away. Nobody knows how, or they had a stroke or a heart attack, all these different things. And then when you bring up the fact, okay, well, what do they eat? Because that's my main goal. Always I ask, well, okay, what kind of lifestyle? What did they eat? Oh, they were so healthy. They ate only like boiled chicken, baked chicken. They ate all these different like salmon and all this different stuff. And I'm sitting there looking at them and I'm like, okay. Do you know the salmon, fish in general, mercury, microplastics, all these different chemicals are dumped in our ocean, and they live in the ocean. You do realize type 2 diabetes is fed by chicken. You also do realize that all meat is inflammatory in some way, shape, or form, and it feeds diseases. So when you really break it down and you sit there and talk to people, they don't realize these things. So they think that they're so healthy, and that person is so healthy because they look good. But you don't realize, nor did that person realize, that the things that you eat should be used as medicine, but you're not eating enough fruits. You're not eating enough vegetables. Your body functions on fruits and vegetables. Everybody can live and thrive off of fruits and vegetables. If I were today, after I had been plant-based for 4 years, decided that, oh, okay, today I was going to decide that I was going to eat meat for the first time in 4 whole years, I would get sick. If you decided today, okay, I'm not going to eat meat, I'm not going to eat dairy, okay, I'm just going to eat fruits and vegetables, not only would you not get sick, but tomorrow you would be like, okay, I'm hungry, but I'm feeling a little bit better. Do you see the difference? Like, do you see the difference? Like, it's really insane because they love to blame it on the fact that, well, it's a different type of protein. That's the reason why you get sick. It's just a different type of protein. So, yeah, it's going to be an overload for your body. That's a load of crap. Like, I just want to let you know that. That's just them okaying you making yourself sick. Because if you stop today and you eat plant-based proteins, you're not going to get sick from the plant-based proteins. You're not going to get sick from going on a fruit cleanse. You're not going to get sick from eating vegetables. But as soon as you start eating meat and dairy again, the two things that make you inflamed, you will get sick. That's it. That's no like you might get sick. You will. There's an imbalance with not only our habits, but also our mindset. And so we have to get away from the mindset first. We have to understand that we have been programmed to doing the same thing that everybody has been doing, and we have no alarm bells going off anymore. Nobody knows how to recognize the signs and the symptoms of illness and disease running rampant in the issues that we have. And so instead of us realizing these different things and linking them, we make them separate issues. We dismiss certain things so that we can make it through life and put our health on back burner. And that's not the way to go. Because as you can see, the way that our health system is shifting, the way that the world is shifting, the way that money is shifting, you putting your health on back burner is going to make you go bankrupt spending on your health later on. Not only that, but then you're going to be sitting there and put in a predicament where either you're going to have to take a loan out because you're needing a surgery, or you need something covered as far as your medications or whatever else, or you're going to have to go without. And then what are you going to do? Let's say you're on a medication right now and they say there's no more. There's a shortage. We have no ports coming in. We have nothing coming in for you. What are you going to do? Because I can tell you, you can heal. But if you don't believe that your body can heal, you're not going to find any healing solutions. You're not going to find something that's going to support you. You're going to keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. And then when you're sitting there talking about, oh, I'm gonna unalive, and you're crying to all your family members, your kids, if you have them, and everybody else about how you're going to unalive because you don't have your high blood pressure medication, you don't have your insulin, you don't have whatever else. Do you see the issue? Like, I just, because if you can heal your body naturally with fruits and vegetables and you're crying and complaining about a medication, I promise you, it's not you talking, it's the drugs. Just like the little person that's homeless on the side of the street that is begging for a couple of change so they can go around the corner and go buy from a dealer, that's what you look like. To me. To society and what they think is normal, it's normal to them. But to me, that's what you look like. You're begging on the corner for a couple of dollars so that you can go get your next fix. Because if not, you think you're gonna unalive. That's what you look like to me. That's what you should look like to majority of society. But we have made it normal for us to literally dose ourselves, microdose ourselves with toxins, microdose ourselves with prescriptions, microdose ourselves with medications every single day. And that's normal. That's what they depend on. You've been plant-based for 7 years, loving your life, and you're never going back. I will never go back. It's been over 4 years, a little bit over 4 years, and I will never go back. I said this 2 years in, 3 years in. Now I am 4 years in. I'm telling you, I will never go back. My body has changed. If you want to see the transformation of what my body has gone through, it's pinned literally on my TikTok. Go look at my TikTok. It's pinned to my bio at the top. You can see how inflamed I was beforehand. And that was the pictures from that. I was at my best friend's wedding. I was in a pink dress. That was from the October. I had gone plant-based. I think her wedding was like October 20th something. I had gone plant-based literally, I think the end of October, like right after her wedding. I had already stopped eating meat 3 weeks prior. Like I had started winging myself off. Her wedding, I wasn't eating meat, but I still was eating dairy. And so you could see how my body was inflamed. After her wedding, I said that was the last time I was going to be eating anything that had dairy in it. I stopped. And that's when I went fully plant-based. You can see the difference. I even tried to eat chicken, I think like a couple of weeks after that, just to be like, okay, well, let me try it. After I hadn't eaten meat in a couple of months, I got a meat headache. I got sick. That's why I'm saying I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. This is not something I didn't experience for myself. I had a lot of trial and error in the beginning. If you want to know what good plant-based proteins are, you can check my profile. Check my page. I have that all listed on my page, as well as my YouTube. I talk about that through my YouTube. Look at my plant-based mastery playlist. You'll find it. I'm not going to cover that anymore. I've covered that plenty of times in in my videos and talked about plenty of plant-based proteins that are going to give you a plethora, not just a little sprinkle where you complain about how you're not getting enough protein, but actually giving you plenty. You healed and got rid of the excess mucus and inflammation. I got rid of more than just excess mucus and inflammation. I got rid of a whole lot. Inflammation was definitely a whole lot that I was struggling from, but a whole lot more. So inflammation is your body's natural stress signal, right? It's a sign and a natural response to injury or stress. So even if thinking about it because I've talked about this before, there are natural ways that you become inflamed when you work out. If you don't know this, when your muscle is being broken down when you work out to build itself back up, that's a sign of inflammation, because that's a stress that you're putting on that muscle. It's a good stress, but it's stress that you're putting on that muscle. So it's gone in inflammation. It's breaking itself down to build itself back up. When you start to develop issues like I was having, which is like knee pain, back pain when you're working out, you're having all these different pains when you work out. You're, one, obviously not working out and moving enough. So now you're sitting there stiff. And two, that's your body's way of telling you have an over amount of inflammation. So it can't even do the natural process that it does of inflammation to help you build back up. It's just breaking down. So this is why when you work out, oh my goodness, you're sore for days and days and days. And now you don't want to work out. It's been a week and now you're not working out. It's been 2, it's been a month. And you're like, well, I can't do that to myself again. Because your body is telling you you're too inflamed on the inside. This triggers your body literally giving you a fight or flight response. And your body is fighting, which is good. It's not flighting, because flighting is you leaving this earth. But you have to realize that there's good and bad to inflammation. Good is your body breaking a muscle down to build it back up. Bad is you have an overload of toxins, so you're inflamed now. You have a bunch of mucus. You develop a sickness. So now you have a sniffle. You have a cough. Now you have the flu. Now you have what was happening in 2020. These are issues that people have chronically, and they sit there and don't realize it's a chronic issue because you think that it's flu season. It's not flu season. The issue is the fact that you have nothing to defend your body, because when you come in contact with germs, that whole concept that y'all have in y'all's brain, because science has told you that when you come in contact with the germ, you automatically get it, is not true. You come in contact with cancer every single day. Your body has cancer cells inside of your body every single day. The only reason why you don't have cancer and you're not diagnosing, you're not on chemo and radiation right now, because all of y'all will be doing it if your doctor told you, is because of the fact that your body has enough fight inside of it to get rid of the cancer cells and not replicate, but rather fight it off and beat it. But the problem is when people start to develop cancer and they get diagnosed with cancer, is that the cells of cancer now are replicating more than their natural cells inside of their body that help them defense and fight. So do you see that imbalance, that little fine line between you're healthy and you're building yourself up versus that fine line of you're not healthy, you're not okay, and your body's in fight mode? When you think about the fact that your cells are being bombarded every single day with these harmful signals of stress and injury that you're putting on your body from the foods that you eat, the toxins that you come in contact with, you're making your body's job harder. This is making your internal organs work harder. This is making you sit there and have to deal with all these different issues of now I'm tired, because your body has no time to rest, because during your sleep time, which is your rest time, which is your body's repair time, instead of it being able to repair and to heal, now it's fighting to try to repair. So instead of every single night repairing to heal, to wake up and feel energized, now it's fighting to stay alive, fighting to try to repair. It's an endless cycle of people being trapped in poor health conditions because we don't realize what our body has gone through and continuously goes through, because we haven't changed any habits. We haven't changed any ways. Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. Inflammation is going to impact your hormones negatively, like we were talking about before. It's going to cause you to have fibroids, infertility issues if you're a woman. So you're going to have fibroids, PCOS, cysts, PMS, all these different issues, but also in men as well, like we were talking about infertility, low sperm count, different things like that. It throws off your hormonal imbalances when it comes to your insulin, your cortisol, because that's your stress hormone, and It's going to cause different issues with your weight gain, fatigue. It's going to cause you to having mental health struggles because you don't realize the fact that your body, so when your gut is off, right? Your gut is absorbing everything that it needs and taking away and then digesting, right? It's supposed to be. If your pH balance is where it's supposed to be. When you are sitting there dealing with an adrenal problem, which is a hormone gland, it releases your cortisol. So when you're sitting there dealing with an issue of an overload of cortisol being released from your adrenal glands, that's going directly to your gut. This is the reason why when you're so stressed out or you're nervous, because I know I was as a child, when you had to do presentations and things and like all these different things in front of people, I got nervous. A lot of people get nervous poop. You have to think about the fact that that's because your adrenal gland is releasing too much cortisol in that moment. So then it's affecting your gut. And if you're having a gut imbalance already because your pH is off, that cortisol is also going to affect your gut balance, which is going to affect your digestion, which is going to cause you to be backed up. Or it's going to cause you to have the runs. That's a hormonal imbalance as well. That's the reason why IBS is running rampant through our society the way that it is. So when you realize that we're in a vicious cycle of keeping people trapped in poor health, you will realize that very quickly because that's not what they teach you. When you get diagnosed with something, they don't tell you that, oh, you have an overload of inflammation and you have an overload of cortisol. This is how you help you heal it. Then you know what they do? They tell you the issue and then they give you a prescription. They diagnose you and give you a pill. That's what doctors do. I'm not saying don't go to the doctor. You should always go to the doctor. You should always get your diagnosis. You should get your tests ran. But you should never take it and then go, okay, let me take this prescription to manage it for the rest of my life. You should take that and go, okay, so I need to start healing from this. How do I heal from this? Let me learn how to naturally heal from this. Oh, okay, I need to lower my inflammation. What are anti-inflammatory foods? Because chronic inflammation is going to not only throw off, like I said, it's not only going to throw off your hormone balance, but it's going to lead you to having panic attacks, anxiety, depression. These are issues that are going crazy in our society. And you know what they're doing? They're slapping pills on it. Here, take this for your mental health. Take this pill so that you can get your serotonin. Take this pill so you can get your dopamine because you're not getting enough of these. You don't need a pill for any of these issues. You don't need a medication. What you need is nourishing food. What you need is helpful habits. The foods that are fueling your inflammation right now that you need to stop eating are these processed sugary foods, so your snacks, these processed sugary drinks. So you're sitting here eating a bunch of, and I'm going to tell you these processed sugars, your white sugar, your brown sugar, even cane sugar at a certain point is going to be inflammatory. If you eat a little bit, it's okay. When you eat a lot, that's inflammatory. You're sitting here eating aspartame. You're sitting here eating high fructose corn syrup, molasses. All of those are inflammatory. Highly inflammatory. Not just like, oh, a little bit. Highly inflammatory. This is going to cause, even just that little bit, okay, well, I'm just eating a little bit of the snack. It's still going to cause an imbalance and a problem. You eating processed foods high in trans fats, which is the unhealthy fat, is going to cause you to have an overload of inflammation, which is going to impact your hormones. You having, like I said, artificial sweeteners, but also highly processed carbs. So when you're sitting here starting your day out with, okay, I'm going to go get this biscuit from, what is that one brand? Pillsbury. You're going to get your Pillsbury biscuits. That's highly processed. Now you're sitting here starting your day with this highly processed biscuit, and then on top of that, you get the inflammatory jelly and dairy butter. Put it on top of it, which are two inflammatory additives. So now you have a literal meal of inflammation. You add your eggs, your bacon on side of that. Eggs cause high cholesterol. Bacon causes inflammation because, first of all, pigs don't even sweat. So they literally reabsorb all of their toxins inside of their body, and they never sweat it out. It's crazy. Y'all will eat, and it's one thing, if you're not going to stop eating all meats, you need to stop eating pork. You need to stop eating chicken. You need to stop eating beef. You need to stop eating fish. I can't even just say one. You need to stop eating all of it. But mainly you need to stop eating pork first. That's the dirtiest animal out here. They don't even sweat. They don't even sweat. Can you think about the fact that, like, when people think about body odor, think about people who eat whatever they eat and they stink. Not just like, oh, okay, you work out, you sweat, it's a little smelly. I'm talking about stink. You smelled somebody with some terrible body odor and you're like, why do you smell like that? You know why? Because that's an overload of toxins. That's their body literally seeping through their pores with toxins. What do pigs smell like? You go to a pigsty. You smell a farm. Outside of just smelling manure. But you go to the pig specifically. What does it smell like? You go over there and you know exactly what a pig smell like. You know why? Because they don't have any pores to release the BS that's inside of their body. All they can do is poop it out. And that's not enough. We have, I think, at least 7 different pathways to release. At least. I feel like there's more. But there's pooping, there's peeing, there's sweating, there's crying, because that's a release as well. Women, we have menstrual cycles, earwax. That's just 6 right there off the top of my head I'm thinking about, right? The animal's not doing, it's not doing one, which sweating is a main one. We can sweat off of a little bit of activity. They never sweat. Dogs sweat, that's why they pant. Animals sweat, that's why they pant. Pigs don't sweat, and you eat that. So let's talk about the cost of you not changing your ways. First of all, the first tip, it's going to hit you financially. Like I just talked about, things are not getting any better. Money is going crazy. The dollar's losing value. Things are getting higher price. But also thinking about the way that our healthcare is going. They previewed a little bit last year at the end of the year of what it's going to look like when these insurance companies stop covering things. They're going to start changing policies because they literally told you in your face that at a certain point, they were going to start trying to get people to stop not people, but insurance companies to stop paying out after anesthesia at a certain point because they view that the doctor should be done with the surgery. They retracted that, right? They were like, oh no, we're not going to do that. That costs too much ruckus. That was your preview. That was your one warning. You might get another one. You might. They might be nice and give you another. But that was your one warning. Everybody freaked out. That was your warning. So now, really think about that. Diabetes itself, insulin resistance itself, is not just a health problem, but a financial burden. So when you think about the fact that people have to spend money on insulin, let's say you have good coverage, so you're not spending that much, but let's say you don't have good coverage and you're spending a whole lot. Between those two, the average person in the U.S. that has diabetes is spending about $16,000 on their medications alone, doctor's visits, and testing supplies, and different things like that. $16,000 on an issue that is not only preventable but treatable. So when you really sit there and think about the fact that that's just on the average dollar that we have right now, that's not even including the inflammation that is to come by 2030. If they're spending $16,000 right now, let's say that doubles. Let's say that doubles. Do you want to pay that double? Like, really sit there and do that mental math. If that doubles, do you want to pay the double of that? You want to pay over $40,000 a year? 30-something thousand dollars? Let's just say on the lower side, you pay about $36,000 to $42,000 a year. Don't let it triple. Don't let that triple. You'll be paying $50,000 a year because you have diabetes. Because the insurance companies are going to start covering more to help you pay less. The insurance companies are going to be with the healthcare companies and they're going to start paying out less, and you have to pay more because they're not going to keep covering y'all. That's what y'all not understanding. The insulin is not going lower. 2020, they raised insulin and started restricting access. And people freaked out and the government said, whoa, you have to give these people their medication and you can't spike it up that high. But they're projecting by 2030, they're projecting that people are going to be, more than ever, They're going to be diabetic and overweight. That's a profit margin. They're not making a national crisis because they literally said, I think it was on, I don't remember exactly what website it was on, but it was on a .gov website, right? They were talking about the fact that this is not a crisis that they can control. This has to be a consumer, a person, a household crisis that they have to deal with themselves. These are the people that are over you, that care about you so much, like y'all say, right? And they told you to your face, we can't help you with this because this is something that you have to deal with in your own home. Relying on this system to take care of you is no longer an option. If you don't see that, I don't know how else to get you to really hone in on that. So if you are still here and you're sticking with me and you understand the urgency of this, let me break down a solution for you after we get to the second point that I have of this impact that's going to have, of the cost of you taking no action. Thank you for sharing and liking the live. I really appreciate it. And I see you guys' comments. If you have questions, I'll answer those at the end. Thank you for the 2.4K likes. So it's also impacting your quality of life when you do nothing. Obviously, it's going to cost your wallet, which is going to cause you to not be able to do the things that you want to do. If you have this later on in life, it's going to affect your retirement. It's going to cause different issues, right? It's also going to cause different issues with time. You're going to have to be running back and forth to the doctor, taking your medication, making sure you take it on time, doing all these different things. It's going to take away your energy. It's going to take away your freedom. So now you can't take that 6-month-long cruise around the world or whatever that you want to do for yourself, because now you have to worry about, where am I going to get my medication? Am I going to be able to go to my doctor's appointment? Am I going to be able to do this? Because you're so heavily reliant on it. You believe this is the only way that you be able to live and to actually function every single day, not realizing that this is not what you need to do. And so this is diminishing your quality of life and making you miss out on moments, on visions, on making and hitting those kind of bucket list things that you want to do. Because people love to prepare themselves for retirement, but they never repair their health. You prepare your wallet. You prepare yourself to be able to take a long, year-long vacation. You prepare yourself to not have to work for the rest of your life. But you don't prepare your health so you don't have to be in the doctor's office every single month. You put your health on the back burner, like I said. So let's talk about your solution to regaining your health. Let's talk about your health and your freedom, the solution to both. Obviously, step 1, balancing your hormones, resetting your body is a key that you have to do. Your body is designed to heal itself. Like I say all the time, your body is designed to heal itself. It's a natural healing vessel if you give it the right tools to heal itself, if you set it up for success, right? It just needs the right support system. So balancing your hormones, reducing your inflammation, all allows you to break free from insulin resistance. And this is going to allow you to take control of your health again and then stay in a space of healing. So instead of you just doing diet culture, of managing it for a moment, feeling good for a moment, you can do this for the rest of your life and feel good for the rest of your life. I've had 4 years of me feeling this way, and I can tell in an instant when something is going wrong. That's the difference between what society has been doing, what we've been taught, and how, okay, well, I feel this, but at the end of the day, I have to move on because I have to do X, Y, and Z, versus me knowing now, okay, I have a sniffle. What did I eat? Let me not go in here and take a Benadryl or whatever else because my allergies are acting up. I know what I need to do. Instead of me doing that, let me go in here, fast, cleanse, take some black seed oil, different things that help not only lower your inflammation, but also get rid of those germs that you've come in contact with that causes illness, come in contact with all these different things in your body, as far as toxins and foods, which I don't eat those, but sometimes things happen, right? You learn very quickly how to start taking care of your body from a space of healing rather than just managing to make it to the next day. There is no quick fix to your health. So you have to take control of your health and understand that the journey starts with your food. The foods that you eat should be used as medicine. Food is medicine. Food should be used as medicine. The habits that you have should be helping you be able to heal you rather than harm you. So even with the products that you use, your perfumes, your body washes, your mouthwash, toothpaste, all of that is harmful. I guarantee you. Even you using that, what is it? That one, I forgot what that mouthwash is that's really, really popular. They were talking about how good it is and all this different stuff. They changed the formula. Y'all aren't looking at it. I can't think of what it is right now off the top of my head. If I think about it and you want to know what it is, you can DM me afterwards and I'll tell you exactly what it is. But Listerine and all that is terrible. It's toxic. I'm talking about that one they were talking about how good it is now, and you should use this one. And I was even using it for a little bit before they changed the formula. I flipped that thing around, saw that they changed the ingredients, and I was so fed up. So I started making my own. Because that's the type of person that I am. Instead of me just sitting here saying, oh, all food is poison, I can't do anything about it, so I'm just going to keep eating the poison because at the end of the day, I can't do anything about it. I find my own. I make my own. There are plenty of foods that are not poison because I don't poison myself with food. There are plenty of products that aren't poison. I make my own if I can't find it. If you don't have the time, you better have the money. That's all I have to say. If you don't have the time, there are products, but I have the money. I don't have the energy to spend that money, if that makes sense. I don't feel good spending that money there when I know that I can make it myself. I could, but I have the money. I don't have the energy to spend that money, if that makes sense. I don't feel good spending that money there when I know that I can make it myself. I could, but I don't have. Was like, oop, we're dying. I don't have the energy to put into buying something that I know that I can make myself and not have to keep checking to make sure you didn't put any chemicals in it. I don't want that. I think that's what it is. It comes with like kind of I think it has different color lids, but I know the one that I had, it was an orange top. I don't remember what color it was. It's been years. I think it's TheraBreath. I think it is. They changed the formula. Okay, yeah. So it's that one, TheraBreath. They changed the formula. Thank you. Because I was like, it was really popular on TikTok for a while. And it's so funny. It became popular on TikTok, had good ingredients, flipped it around after a couple of months of using it, and I got a new bottle. They changed it. Because they got brought out, I don't remember by who, but they got brought out by somebody. And it even says it on the bottle. I think they said new packaging or something. Yeah, it was good, but now it's not. No, I make my own now. And that's something that I teach in my program, which if you want to know more about the program, you can DM me and I'll tell you more about the program. Because we have other things that we're talking about right now. But if you want to know about the program, I'll let you know. Or you can just ask at the end and I'll tell you more about the program. We'll talk about that. But also, another thing about balancing and resetting your health and your body is your mindset. You cannot have the mindset of this is not going to work, or I don't feel like doing this, or whatever else, and expect yourself to stick with this lifestyle. You can't have the mindset of, oh, you're a brave soldier, because people love to tell me that all the time. You're a brave soul because I could never. If you have that mindset, please get away from me. This is not for you. If you have the mindset of, oh, this can be hard, this can be difficult, but I know I can do it, you're here for the right reasons, and you're my kind of people. If you're one of those where I don't know where to start, I think it's going to be difficult, but I'm open to it, you're my kind of people. I can help you be able to do that. But if you have no type of leeway mindset around this could work for me and I understand and let me see, it's not going to work for you. You're not going to want to do it. Because I wasn't even 100% when I went plant-based. My thought process was the Most High led me to healing. He's getting me to understand what's going on with my food and I want change. So let me see how this works for me. I didn't even think I was going to do this for a whole 4 years. I didn't think this was going to be my lifestyle change. I thought it was going to be like diets. Oh, I'm going to try this out and I'm going to do it for a couple of months, maybe a year, and then I'm going to go back. No. I saw within the first 3 months of me winging myself off of meat, how my body changed. And I was like, oh, I will never do this again. I was like, why in the world would I keep eating this if I don't need it? Not only can I feel full, stay full, and how we consider overeating, where you're like, oh, that's overeating. If I eat all of this, I'm gonna be sick, or it's gonna make me gain weight. Now I can eat to feel full and I don't overeat. That's the difference. You eating fruits and vegetables, you can eat to feel full and not overeat, because you're going to be filled and you're not going to be able to eat overeat. But when you're eating all the junk that you're currently eating right now, you can eat a whole freaking meal and still not feel full or feel hungry in 30 minutes. That's because you didn't get enough nutrition in your meal, honey. You can eat a whole plate and still be hungry. It's because you didn't get enough nutritional value in that meal. Thanks for the 2.9K likes. We're almost at 3. I see y'all. So, how do we reset? How do we get to the space? Cut out your processed sugars. Cut out them inflammatory foods. Find replacements first, though. You don't cut anything out. If you've been living this way all your life, you don't cut anything out until you find your replacements. This is going to make you hate the lifestyle, hate the journey. When you are somebody who is addicted to sugar, like majority of society is, and you love your sweets, like I still do. I love my sweets, but I'm not addicted to sugar. I can go without it. Then you need to find things to replace, because when you're craving that sugar and you have no replacement, you're going to go back to the old crap. But when you find something that is going to help you be able to snack, support that craving, but not throw off your chemical balance and also keep you on the right track, then you'll stick with it. The same thing about your favorite snacks for your chips, and you having, let's say, okay, I don't have enough time to cook and I don't want to do all of this, but I like a good burger. Prep burgers for yourself. Not prep meat burgers of beef and all chicken, all these different things. I prep my black bean burgers in advance, so I have frozen patties. So then when I want a black bean burger and I don't feel like cooking, boom, I can go in the fridge and go in the freezer and go get them. They last just like the ones you get at Kroger, Walmart, Publix, all those different places in the freezer section. Set yourself up for success and make it simple. Make it easy. Focus on getting all of your nutrients, not from supplements, not from tinctures, but from food. Is that an animal? Sorry, y'all. I'm at the lake, and that looks like an animal because it's most definitely swimming. I hope somebody's dog didn't get out or something. That's an animal. It's too far out for me to see. It might be a duck, but it doesn't look like a duck. Anywho. Let me get back on my topic. Sorry, that threw me off because I'm just trying to make sure it's not a dog. Because I'm one of those people. If it's a dog, I'm calling somebody. Somebody come get this dog. Like, I literally one night, which is off topic, but... and I'll get back on it. One night I was driving through my neighborhood going home, and I saw a dog walking across the street, and it was a pit bull and it had a collar. And so I'm sitting there looking, and I drove past it not thinking. And I hit the end of the street at the stop sign, and I'm sitting there like, do I turn around and go check on this dog? Because I don't know if the dog is out like wandering, like, oh, it's lost and homeless, or it's been on the streets, but I've never seen this dog. I turn around, why is the owner like down the street looking for the dog? I knew. That's why I said my intuition. I am so good at spotting a lost dog. I am so good at spotting a lost dog. So, sorry, my peepers were on. Anywho, getting back. So, focus on getting all your nutrition in your meals, right? Plant-based meals are going to support you with balancing your hormones, getting all your nutrition, feeling full without having to sit here and restrict and starve yourself, but also support you overall in healing through you being able to eat. Because diet culture makes you restrict and hungry. But when you eat plant-based and change your lifestyle, you're able to eat and not have to sit here and feel hungry. If you want to gain weight or lose weight, you still can eat and feel full and not sit there and starve yourself or restrict a bunch of crap. Or not crap, but restrict a bunch of food, but rather get rid of the crap. Your reset also starts with you improving your movements daily. Even if it's something simple and gentle, it's just, I'm going to walk, and I'm just going to take this walk. I'm going to walk for 30 minutes to an hour. That's something easy that you can do for yourself. That's something that I do for myself. I started running when it's warm outside, but when it's cold outside, that's not my mood. When it's cold, I see to myself, I just kind of get in this mood where I'm a recluse. I want to be chill. I don't want to do too much. I don't want to be too active. I don't really want to be outside. It's cold. I don't like being out cold. But I'm going to walk. I'm going to get that movement in, because when you're moving externally, internally, everything is moving as well. So if you feel like, oh, I'm constipated, you know what you need to get up and do? Walk. Oh, I feel too full. Oh, I feel gassy. Walk. I promise you it will release everything that you needed to release. Drink water, walk. If you're one of those people where you're like, okay, well, I don't have any for me to walk, or I don't have a walking pad or a treadmill, get up and do some stretching. Do some stretches. Learn how, I don't practice yoga, but learn how to do some poses of some stretches of like downward dog. Learn how to do, cat and cow. Do some movement of that nature. Do some simple unweighted hip thrusts. Just will help you be able to get that movement and that activity inside of your body. Do a couple of sit-ups. Start doing wall push-ups. These are things that you can start doing for yourself. Do some squats. These are simple little movements. You don't have to sit here and be the workout guru and do, an unlimited amount of squats in 30 minutes and have a heavy sweat. Do light movements that get you comfortable in the space. Because the person who started weight training and now looks like a bodybuilder did not start out lifting 300 plus pounds. They started out with a 10-pound weight. They started out with body weight. They started out with 25 pounds. And they worked their way up. You don't sit here and overnight decide all of a sudden that you can be the workout guru and you can lift 300 pounds. You don't sit here and decide that tomorrow you're going to go plant-based and you're going to cut out everything. You're going to throw out everything in your fridge. You start with little small changes that allow you to be able to incorporate these things. Start making plant-based meals, understanding how to make those meals, understanding how easy they are and how delicious they can be. Prioritize not only getting up and moving, hydrating your body. Prioritize hydrating and resting. So if your body is tired, you need to rest. If your body is thirsty, or if you're hungry sometimes, you need to drink water. Before you're doing anything, you need to drink water. You wake up, you need to drink water. Before you go to bed, you need to drink water. Before you eat a meal, you need to drink water. This is how not only do you keep yourself from overeating, but also keeping yourself hydrated. Hydration keeps your digestion in balance. It keeps your brain balanced because it keeps your brain lubricated. It keeps your cells lubricated. It keeps your gut lubricated. Your brain needs lubrication. Your body needs lubrication. You have to have water. You drinking soda, you drinking alcohol, you drinking wine, you drinking juice is not lubricating your body. It's not going to help you the way that you need it. This is my strategy, part of it. It's not even the whole strategy, but this is parts and pieces of my strategy that I teach people and that I help myself be able to develop and be able to keep this lifestyle for 4 years. And this is why my strategy works. Because I simplify it. I don't make it hard. I don't make you sit here and have to completely change your life overnight. Start doing all this stuff that's going to make you uncomfortable. I simplify the process because my strategies work because they're realistic. I don't sit here and make you calorie count. I don't sit here and make you track every single thing that you eat by calories and counting this and doing all this and macros. Who wants to do that? Learn how to use a rainbow plate and using food as your medicine. This is why I developed my Eating Away Diabetes Cookbook, because this cookbook is going to support you in not only knowing how to cook your own plant-based recipes, but understanding how healing starts with the actions that you have and realizing what you've been doing to your body and throwing off your body all of your life. Because I break down insulin resistance, I break down your A1C, I break down diet culture in that book. I give you plenty of bonuses that break down understanding different aspects. All of these so that you realize that, yes, the habits that you've had have been inflammatory, they've been terrible, they've been toxic. And then here's how you can eat yourself into healing your body. Here's simple recipes for you to be able to start. Easy recipes that not only feed cravings, but also make you feel full. And then I give you plenty of bonus in there that you can start making your own plant-based cheese sauces, make your own different types of sauces, and everything that you need, because there's over 50 pages breaking down not only the root causes of your insulin resistance and diabetes, but also simplifying the process of anti-inflammatory meals, supporting your healing, and it gives you bonuses to help you be able to stay consistent and be inspired throughout the book. Because I can tell you that a lot of people that I know that are plant-based talk to me about how they feel a lack of recipe, they feel stuck from a lack of recipes, and so they don't feel inspired anymore. I still to this day am creating recipes. It's been 4 years, so it hasn't been like too terribly long, but 4 years is a long time, okay? 4 years is a whole block of life. I still feel inspired and I still create recipes on an often basis. So if you are ready, before I start taking questions, before I get off, which you can drop your questions before I start answering them, drop them down so I can answer them. And you are ready to, if you are having insulin resistance or diabetes, if you're having just an overall imbalance with your hormones, that Eating Away Diabetes Cookbook is going to be your guide into starting to heal that and understanding how to do that for yourself. Not only is it going to support you in doing that, but also I do have a cleansing and detoxing bundle that can support you doing that as well. You can get everything with Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. And if you are needing full support of what is going on with your body, whether you have an illness or disease, or you just need guidance guidance into learning how to eat a plant-based lifestyle and starting today, and you want a pantry audit as well as you want a refrigerator audit and you want a grocery list, you can work with me one-on-one. I do have one-on-ones that you can book with me. You can get a Klarna Firm Afterpay once again, and it's linked in my bio, and it'll start with you understanding not only the strategies that I can give you and breaking those down, but also understanding how to stick with the changes that we're going to make. So, what questions do you have for me before I get off? Like I said, because you don't want to walk into this year, next year, all the way up to 2030, sitting here doing the same thing. Why did it? Oh my goodness. Hold on, y'all. It messed up. Okay, there it goes. I was like, what? Okay. Hold on. It's asking me to verify myself. It's asking me to verify myself. Oh my God. It was asking me to verify myself. You are so welcome, everybody that's in here. Thank you. Thank you. The power to change everything that you need can start today. And within a little bit as 3 months, by 1 month, you'll see a difference in your energy. By 2 months, you'll see a difference in your body and your energy, as well as by 3 months, you'll not only have the sustainable habits, but you'll also see a complete transformation in your health. And you'll start to realize how you've been throwing off your body, and you'll start to get that balance back. So then you'll see all those recognizing signs that you've been ignoring all your life. This is what I teach you in the program, because my programs go for 3 months. It's 12 weeks. So it breaks down everything that you need to be able to sustain that lifestyle, for you to be able to not only keep the habits by establishing them and having a stable foundation, but also giving you recipes, giving you strategies that I have, learning how to make your own non-toxic products, making your own plant-based recipes, and also being able to have complete access to me so that you can ask any questions that you have going on that are personal, far as like, okay, you're suffering from high blood pressure. How do you lower your inflammation? Okay, you're having issues with PCOS, fibroids, infertility issues. How do I get rid of that? Breaking that down for you and making a strategy for you that works for you. Okay, you work a 9 to 5 and you don't have a bunch of time because you have kids. You don't have time to be prepping all these meals, to be in the kitchen for 3 hours. Okay, we'll break down. We'll make prepping situation for you. We'll make meals that are easy for you to pop in the oven. You have a child that you want to be able to learn how to eat this way. Okay, we'll make a strategy for them as well. These are things that you learn during that program, but you have to tap into that, because waiting until 2030, waiting until 2025, the end of 2025 is not going to work for you. Thank you for these gifts. I really appreciate it. It's not going to work. You sitting here thinking that, okay, well, I'll do it later on. I'll start later on. Okay, I'm going to do this first, is not going to help you. It's going to keep you in the same process, in the same mindset. Thank you. I really appreciate it. The Most High gives me this information. The Most High has been feeding me this information for about 6 years now, because I started in 2020 doing information into 2019 around that time. He's been feeding me all this information for quite a while, and it just led me to being plant-based a couple years later. And then now here I am on TikTok, being able to share it with you guys on live, because there's no reason for me to sit on this information and to harbor it, because there's too many people out here. There's millions that are sitting here dealing with something that I was dealing with, that I healed myself from. And so there is absolutely no reason that we're not reclaiming our health and our energy and being vibrant in this life, because we're all doing the same thing. That's the reason why it's not working for us. And so instead of us realizing, we just keep doing the same exact thing, expecting a different result. And the Most High gave me the blessing to be able to share healing. And so that's what I do, and why I love what I do, because I thought there was no end. Like, I thought it was an end all be all. You get diagnosed with something. I had asthma. I thought I'm going to have asthma for the rest of my life. Wow, that's crazy. I'm going to have an inhaler. I haven't had an inhaler in 4 years. I have not had an inhaler in 4 years. And every time I did physical activity beforehand, I had to take my inhaler. You know what causes asthma? Inflammation. I had weight fluctuation. I was having knee pain in 5th grade. I was 150 pounds in 5th grade, okay? I was a heavy child. I was not that way when I was first like a child. I was skinny. I was taller than everybody else. When I stopped growing, because I hit my growth spurt early, my weight caught up to me. And when my weight caught up to me, I had all those health issues. You know what all those health issues were stemming from? Inflammation. So I'm here to help you be able to make the connection so that you can make it happen and happen for you today so that you can make change. Because we deserve to know how to take care of ourselves. We deserve to understand our natural design of healing. The Most High gave us healing. So I'm just here to help you make those connections. And so if you are ready to start eating away diabetes, if you have that going on, or getting rid of your inflammation, or just booking, here to help you make those connections. And so if you are ready to start eating away diabetes, if you have that going on, or getting rid of your inflammation, or just booking a one-on-one, you're ready to work with me, click the link in my bio. That will support you. If you have any questions, please drop your questions down before I get off. I'm going to give you guys about like one more minute because I'm not seeing any more questions. But I am so grateful for everybody that's in here that has either given me a success story, has told me that you're plant-based or you stopped eating meat. Now we got to focus on overall getting to a healthy lifestyle and understanding how to do that. So what questions do you have for me about feeling tired or sluggish, fatigued, feeling stuck with your health journey, any inflammation? Because you deserve to know how to feel better, know how to take care of your body without having to sit here and settle for, okay, this is just the way I'm going to feel for the rest of my life. I knew it was something, and I went and I found it. I found what I was looking for. You instantly stopped getting acne and fatigue 24/7. I didn't really have a lot of issues with acne, but I did see a difference in my acne when I stopped eating sugar. It really acne stems from inflammation for everybody because for everybody, excuse me, because my best friend, when she eats dairy, it causes her inflammation. For me, when I eat sugar, it causes my inflammation in my skin, which I'm not saying I just go around eating dairy, but she noticed because she accidentally came in contact with dairy after she's been plant-based for over a year, by a family member on accident, and she started getting acne that she hadn't had in a year or so. And so she realized, oh, it was a dairy. Boom, dairy was causing my acne. That was my issue because she cut out everything at one time. Sugar is still something that I come in contact with every now and then. I avoid it as much, but every now and then, I'm in the South, I love sweet tea. I might come in contact with the sweet tea. Boom, it's going to cause acne because it doesn't always cause it, but I start to see signs of it at least. Meat can cause it, obviously. It can cause different types of inflammation in everybody. It's just a matter of how it shows up, because at the end of the day, the inflammation is there. It's just a matter of how it shows up. That's why I say that, like, somebody can look the healthiest, the skinniest on the outside at the end of the day, and people are talking about how, I don't know how they had a stroke or a heart attack or whatever because they're so healthy, but you don't realize what's going on internally. And that's the issue. We don't realize what's going on internally because coroners are doing autopsies on bodies, and they're seeing the fact that people's internal organs are 3 times their actual age. 3 times their actual age. You know why? Because that's internal stress. So that's why I say you don't know what's going on internally inside of your body. But I do know this. If you're not taking care of your body, there's something going on that's negatively impacting you. If you're taking care of your body, you don't have to worry about those different things. But if you aren't taking care of your body, that's something that should be on your mind heavy. The fact that your liver, your kidney, your heart, your pancreas, your gut are all 3 times your actual age. And I'm going to do another one for you. Not only are they doing autopsies on bodies and they're seeing the fact that your internal organs are 3 times your age, but they're also cutting open your liver and they're smelling Febreze, Lysol, they're smelling bleach. You know why? Because it's absorbing those toxins and keeping it and storing it so it's not going all throughout your body. That should be a scary thought. How do I get inflammation out of my body? I'm tired a lot. My legs hurt, and I'm assuming that says back hurt. How you lower your inflammation is starting to use anti-inflammatory foods. Incorporate more turmeric in your life. Incorporate more ginger. And learning how to make anti-inflammatory meals. That's going to help you, because if you're eating meat or if you're eating dairy, that's going to keep feeding the inflammation. So no matter how much turmeric or ginger you put in there, you're still going to be inflamed, because that's the difference. When you're eating a plant-based meal and you're living a plant-based lifestyle, when you use those anti-inflammatories, they're going to work at an not expedited either. Is that expedited? I can't think of the word. Not expedited. I'm trying to think of the word. What is it? exponential rate. They're going to work in an increased rate than they normally would. But when you're eating a bunch of crap, it's too busy trying to fight what you eat every single day that it can't sit here and heal. So that's the problem of the imbalance of why people take supplements and all these different things every single day thinking that this is helping them. But in reality, it's trying to fight off what's already going on rather than help heal what you need. So that's what you have to start doing first. And if you want to learn more about that and you want to really tap into it, if you need like a one-on-one, I do have those, like I said in my bio. But if you need just anti-inflammatory help, my cleansing and detoxing guide is more than just anti-inflammatory. It's also gut help. It's microplastic and heavy metal detoxing. It helps you be able to fruit and vegetable cleanse. It gives you the whole plethora of how to flush your body and reset it and help you be able. It helps you be able to fruit and vegetable cleanse. It gives you the whole plethora of how to flush your body and reset it and help you be able to cleanse and detox effectively without tinctures or medications. And I give you herbs in there, but everything else that you have is food. So it's a little bit of herbs with a whole lot of food. What do you do to stop craving sugar? You have to detox. You have to cleanse that out. I did a whole cleanse of no sugar for a whole month in June. Because that's usually around the time that I do it, because it's right before my birthday, so I can look good and feel good before my birthday. But May, I worked my way up to no sugar all of May, so I was sprinkling in little amounts of natural sugar. And then by June, I had no sugar, not even, besides fruits. I didn't have honey or anything like that. I literally stuck to straight fruit sugar only. You said, so what can I do for irregular periods to do due to insulin resistance? If you're suffering from insulin resistance, then you have to balance your hormones. So if irregular periods is a hormonal imbalance, and if you're dealing with insulin resistance is caused by hormonal imbalance. So this hormonal imbalance is caused by your insulin spike, your blood sugar being spiked every single day. So you have to learn how to balance your blood sugar with those balancing foods. There are foods that balance your blood sugar. So healthy fats and healthy proteins are going to help you balance. Healthy fats don't come from meats. Healthy proteins don't come from meats. It comes from fruits. And so when you learn that avocados is a healthy fat, it's a healthy protein, chickpeas are a healthy protein, these are stabilizers. You need stabilizers when you're eating things. If you want to eat a carb, you need a stabilizer. If you want to eat sugar, you need a stabilizer. Not processed sugar, but even natural sugar. When you're dealing with an imbalance of your blood sugar, you need a stabilizer. And that's what I talk throughout my book of Eating Away Diabetes. I talk about stabilizers all throughout that book. That's something that you have to tackle, is stabilizers. You say, yes, sugar is my downfall. I've been working on that. Okay, yeah. Sugar is a big problem for everybody. That's the reason why we have over 90-something million people dealing with insulin resistance and they don't even know. Okay. Do you guys have any more questions for me before I get off? You were so welcome, everybody. You were so welcome. Thank you for the gifts and the likes, guys. We got up to 3.8K today. I really appreciate it. If you have any more questions before I get off, please ask them. If not, there's no better time to take care of yourself than today. So why not start today? Start your transformation today. Why wait? How do I get your book? Which book? The cleansing. Well, both of them are linked in my bio, but if you're talking about the detox one is the first one. I think the cleansing guide is towards the middle-ish area. But the link is in my bio. For every product or service that I have, you can get a Klarna Firm or Afterpay, and the link is in my bio. Thank you so much for these gifts. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube, go on ahead. We're trying to funnel everybody to another social media, just in case they do take TikTok away from us. And I can't use a VPN, because I will be using a VPN if I can. But if I can't, I will be going live other places. You'll just have to catch and figure out where. If you're on my email list, you'll know. If you're on YouTube, you'll figure it out too, because I post all my lives on YouTube. We might try to go live on YouTube. If not, we might move over to the purple app of TWITCH, if y'all know what that is, because you can't say that on here, they censor your live. So we'll save what that word is at the end, and I'll tell you if I set that up. I'm deciding if I'm going to do that or not. If that's something that anybody would be interested in, I might go over there. If not, I have a little over 100 subscribers on YouTube, so we might just do YouTube. You said, I was just told that my body is creating antibodies which are attacking the brain cell. They do not know They do not know why, because it affects the balance and vision. You have antibodies inside of your body that are attacking your brain cells. What are these antibodies? Like, what are they? Are they parasites? Like, because that sounds like a parasitic infection. If you have something that, either that or it sounds like not necessarily cancer, but how cancer cells replicate themselves and then they attack your natural cells on the inside. Like, it sounds like a parasite. It sounds like a parasitic infection. And if that's the case, then you have to release. You need to reset. You need to cleanse, to rebalance, to get rid of whatever is attacking. Because that's the thing. If something in your body is fighting and attacking itself, that means your body's in fight or flight mode. So that means your body is fighting itself. So if it is something that is naturally occurring in your body, which I don't know what this antibody is, then that means your body is fighting itself internally. So we have to get to the root cause of why. You said, so do you think I should detox before I fast? That's really up to you. How do you feel? What do you think will support you? Like I said, my strategies are based on what do you think is going to support you. Are you going to, do you know how to effectively fast and just go straight into that? Do you know how to set yourself up for a strategic fast? Because my cleansing guide, my detoxing guide does have a fast in it. It has a fasting guide in it, so it shows you how to be able to do that. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're so welcome, Rhonda. You're so welcome. You said, hold on, I'm trying to catch up on the comments. Does holding, I'm sorry, can you specify that? What does that mean? You follow me on YouTube? Thank you. I don't know what you're talking about, AC Pics. I'm trying to figure out if this is a troll account or not. Okay, you said, I'm missing an endocrinologist. What specialist would you be able to pinpoint the why? What specialist would be able to pinpoint the why? A specialist is not going to be able to pinpoint the why. It's all dependent on your habits. You need to self-reflect. And I say that in the best way possible. Self-reflection is the only way you're going to be able to pinpoint why. What do you do that causes an imbalance inside of your body? What do you eat? What products do you use? What in your home is a hormone disruptor? What is a neurotoxin? You have to sit there and break down what is coming in contact with your body that is causing a issue with your neurological balance. Because if you are sitting there having to the point where you have to go see a neurologist, then you're at the point where your body is breaking down. That's what people not realizing and they're not understanding. When you have an issue to the point where it's so bad where you get diagnosed with something and now you're having to have surgery, dialysis, go to a brain surgeon or anything of those things, of scans, then you have to sit there and realize the fact that your body is telling you you're unaliving. In 2021 and you're still dealing with it, then that means your body's not healing. It's now breaking down and it's telling you that you're not saying anything, and praise the Most High that you are still here and allow Him to keep you here as long as possible. But that's your body's way of saying that you're unaliving slowly. That's just what it is. Disease and illness, that's what your body is saying. And if you've been to the point where it's getting worse, that means it's ramping up because nothing's being done. So then it's time for us to now, and that's something that I effectively suggest in this situation, because I don't suggest anybody cut cold turkey, but this is something that you would cut cold turkey. If it's been going on since 2021 and now you're at the point where you're losing balance, you're having issues with neurologically, this is something you cold turkey fast. This is something you cut everything out, because that's not something to play with. You don't play with your health in general, but you specifically don't play with the brain, the heart, and the gut. These are how you live. Everything else, obviously, you have to function. Kidney, liver, pancreas, all of those are functions too. But the brain, if the brain is having an issue, this is the main key factor that something is going on neurologically. And more likely than not, from what you're telling me, from what it's sounding like, I'm not a doctor, but from all the research that I have far as natural healing and health, it sounds like a parasitic issue. That's a parasite. And parasites pass your blood-brain barrier. They're finding that research out now, even though that's it should be common sense. If microplastics can pass that, and cancer can too, I'm pretty sure a parasite can. Parasites can pass your blood-brain barrier. How long should you fast? How long can you go? Think about it this way. If you're asking me how long you should fast, because my cleansing and detoxing guide talks about this, so you're getting a little snippet into the book. How long have you been throwing off your body? If you've been eating this way, if you've been imbalanced, if you've been dealing with these different issues, let's say I'm 26. Let's say you've been doing it for 24 years of your life. You've been eating food for a year. Maybe the first year of your life, you didn't eat a whole bunch of toxins, but after the 3 all the way on to the however long you've been eating a bunch of crap. A week, 2 weeks, that's not going to be enough. You can fast for a couple of days, but after the fast or before the fast is going to have to go with the cleanse. It's going to have to go with the detox. You're going to have to do a long extended period of time of changing your habits in order for you to see a big change. Because that's a diet. Thinking about, okay, I'm going to fast for a couple of days and I'm going to be perfectly fine as a diet. That's a momentary, okay, I'm going to feel good right now. Doing a cleanse for a week is a momentary, okay, I'm going to feel good right now. When you do a cleanse and then set yourself up to change your lifestyle afterwards, so like, okay, I know after this cleanse, I'm no longer going to eat meat. I'm no longer eat dairy. Boom. I know I have this plant-based meal I'm going to start eating. I'm going to start incorporating this. I'm no longer going to use bleach in my home. This is changing your lifestyle. This is going to keep you in the space of being healed. But if you do a fast or a cleanse and then you go back to your old lifestyle, it's not going to be effective and you're only going to have that momentary feel good. Doctors only know what you tell them, and doctors only know exactly what they've been taught and programmed in their studies of programs. That's the reason why they tell you, oh, you go through a master program, you go through a doctoral program, because it's literally a brainwashing system that teaches them exactly the way that they need them to be able to diagnose you and then give you a prescription. Diagnose you and then treat you with a surgery. Diagnose you and then treat you with some type of momentary band-aid that is going to make you sicker. That's their programming. That's why it takes so long. Not saying that you don't have to learn a bunch of different things about the body, but that's why it takes so long for them to get a doctoral degree. You don't go and get a doctoral degree in 2 to 4 years. You have to go for 6 to 8, 10. Because you know why? They have to get programmed into the mindset of, okay, this is what you have to do to be healthy. This lady just parked all types of crazy. I'm sorry, y'all. The same thing with like dentists. Through their programming, they're programmed to tell you you have to have fluoride in order for your teeth to stay healthy. You cannot remineralize. Have to have fluoride in order for your teeth to stay healthy. You cannot remineralize. Have to have fluoride in order for your teeth to stay healthy. You cannot remineralize. Have to have fluoride in order for your teeth to stay healthy. You cannot remineralize. Wow. Okay. For everybody that's still here, thanks for the follow. My phone died. But I'm just gonna close it out. If you have any more questions, drop them down before I get off, because I forgot my phone was dying and I didn't plug it up. So but I appreciate everybody that's still here. Thank you so much. Thanks for the follows, thanks for the likes. I wanted to come back on here and say bye, because I didn't want it to just like end the way that it did. I don't know what the last thing that y'all heard, but like I was just saying, is the fact that like they go through these different programs for a reason. There's a reason. So I hope that everybody has an amazing rest of your day. Thanks to everybody who liked the live up, who is here. This live will be posted on YouTube afterwards if you missed. If you are on YouTube, do not forget to subscribe to me, as well as drop any comments that you have. If you had any questions throughout the live, let me know. I will answer and respond. If you have any questions, please feel free to DM me on any other socials, because you can't DM on YouTube, but Instagram, TikTok, if we still have it. I have a Facebook as well. Message me anything that you have going on and let me know. If you have not checked out that Eating Away Diabetes Cookbook, go ahead and check that out. And I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I am out, y'all.